You're listening to the Every Student, Every Day podcast with me, Jim Franchini, Superintendent of the Averill Park Central School District. Welcome to this episode of the Every Student, Every Day podcast. Today, I am excited to welcome 5 members of our Transportation Department. These are the folks that get our students safely to and from school, oftentimes in very challenging conditions here with our weather, and do a great job doing that. And our district, like pretty much every other district, is always actively looking for new bus drivers to join what we think is a great team and a great district. And we thank a bunch of them for taking some time out today to talk to our listeners about why they are a driver and what they like about it and all that type of stuff. So first of all, thank you very much to you folks for joining us. And if we could just start, I'll have you introduce yourself, maybe just give your name and how long you've been in the district or your role in the district, if you do stuff other than drive, or anything you want to tell our listeners about yourself.
So I'm Karmen. I've been with the district for, this is my 23rd year, and I drive school bus, and I also work in the kitchen.
Great. Thank you for joining us. Keith
Hammond, same as Karmen, 23 years. I also work for the town of Sand Lake, and I've been involved in public service. It's been about 30 years total. I really enjoy working here, and I enjoy the people I work with. I remember when we started here, Karmen and I even were on a softball team together here.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. Ed.
I'm Ed Gray. I came here after retiring from Stewart's, and been here 15 years, 12 as a contracted driver, and I came back as a sub because I like it so much.
Great. Thank you. Kenroy.
Yeah, I'm Kenroy. I'm a substitute driver. I came on this school year's September, so a little over 6 months. Loving it so far.
Awesome. Thank you. And we also have Mark Premo with us. Mark?
My name is Mark Premo. I'm the Director of Transportation. I've been here a little over 27 years doing this. I love my job. It's great.
Let's start with, we'll kind of go around. I think we want to get your input on a bunch of things. And what's neat is you all have very different experiences and different roles here in the district. So, Mark, why don't you start, if you would, and talk to us about if someone is interested in driving for Averill Park, what training or certification do they need?
So if you're looking to drive with our district, the requirements are pretty basic. You would need a high school diploma. You would need a valid New York State driver's license. And as far as the training, all the training that we provide here is paid training. We would train, license, everything you would need to drive, we would provide. Be able to pass a background check, a drug test, and have a valid driver's license to apply.
Great, thank you. Karmen, you're unique in that you drive in the morning and the afternoon, but as you mentioned, you work for the district during the school day. Can you talk to our listeners about that and how you kind of balance that and your day in general?
Yes, I haven't always worked for the kitchen, and it's worked for me because I started here when I was 19. And when I got home in between runs, I slept. Waking up at 5:30 in the morning was very difficult. And then when I was raising children, I was able to volunteer in the schools, in their classrooms and stuff. So that worked really great. And then when they were old enough, I worked in the kitchen, and I got to still be able to go home and take care of my animals and do errands and, prep dinner. And then I come back into the kitchen and work my 8 hours a day. So it works out really well.
Able to kind of balance the two very different positions. I would imagine you see the kids in two very different ways, but also somewhat similar because you're seeing them in those environments.
Yeah, it's really nice to be in with the kitchen because then the kids see me, they say hello to me, they say, how are you? It's really nice to have that connection with the kids and be able to share it a little bit longer than just the few minutes that I have on the bus. I get to know them a little bit more and have more conversations with them in the kitchen. So that's nice.
Keith, you have been, as you mentioned, with the department for many, many years. What have you seen over the years in the transportation department that has changed? Maybe what stayed the same at its core, like any other job, I imagine. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, the rules have changed quite a bit. I did runs where early on you would stop at Stewart's and get breakfast for kids because they didn't get it, and those kinds of things aren't allowed anymore. But that was done when I first started. When I first started here, Mark wasn't my boss. He was a mechanic, and now he's my boss. That's changed. The buses that we were driving when I started here, you have manual doors to open and close, and now it's a button. The technology has changed on the bus, but what stayed the same is the kids. It is really nice to see kids grow up and watch them grow up. And if you have the opportunity to have the same run with the same kids, it's a blessing because the kids get to know you and they share things with you. It's nice to see them grow up. It really is. And at my age, it makes me feel good.
That's fantastic. And probably some people don't realize is that in many cases you could have the same run year after year and really have a relationship with a student and a family, multiple siblings, the whole bit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely rewarding when you see out in the public and they come running up to you and say your name and how are you? And, I miss you as a bus driver after they graduated, or, we still talk about what goes on the bus at the dinner table. And it's just very rewarding to hear how much of an impact that you have had on their life.
Like a local celebrity, right? They see you out in the store, and that's cool. Ed, your situation unique. You worked, then you worked here, and then you retired, but you kind of didn't retire, and you've come back to still drive in retirement, right? Can you kind of talk to people about your experience over the years?
I'm not very good at retiring. Number one, I retired twice. I came here because I retired young from Stewart's at 51 years old, and I knew I wanted to do something else after that. So I didn't know if I'd like it or not, but after a few months, I knew it was something that I wanted to do. So I stayed 12 years because I got to be able to take insurance with me after 12 years. And after that, I got a little retirement from here also and kept the insurance and still wanted to drive. So I do drive mostly sports, but when there's shortages, my son being the dispatcher, he's got a direct line to me. So he'll call me up and say, I need help this afternoon, Dad. And usually, if I can, I'll come in and help him out.
That's great and appreciated. And your son does a great job too. So we're happy for his service here in the district. Kenroy, your situation, again, a little bit different, right? So you have a flexible situation in that you have a second job, but it's not with the district. So can you talk to people about how you do your runs, work with transportation, but also have a completely different world? Unlike Karmen, it's not connected to us, but outside of that.
Absolutely. As a sub, it's very much flexible. One of the things that prompted me to become a substitute driver was my son attends the high school here. And so like those first 2 weeks before things get into gear, kind of have to drop him off at his previous school. So he attended a private school. And I realized how important the role of a bus driver was, right? And so that kind of motivated me in a sense to kind of get into driving. I love kids, I love working with kids. My situation is as a substitute driver, I have a full-time job outside of this gig. I work in cybersecurity and I have a set schedule. But before my full-time job schedule in the morning, I like getting up early. I'm an early riser. And so I get up early and I utilize that time, right? Working years so far has been very flexible, still able to get whichever run I'm on, I'm able to get that done on time, and I'm still able to get to my full-time job on time. So I would say to anyone that's looking, maybe you're not looking full-time, but you're looking to, for something that's part-time, right? Being a substitute, you're being effective and you're serving your community, helping to mold young lives, having an impact on their lives as well. And you get to go about your day and do what you do.
That's a very unique way. It's interesting how you're able to balance both of those and kind of the best of both worlds, I guess, in some ways. You're already, as I said, an early riser and up and going. So then you're coming here and working when you can. Mark, heading back to you, you're involved obviously with the hiring of the drivers. When you're looking at hiring, what traits do you look for or look at in terms of things that not only help people to survive, but kind of thrive in the position? What have you seen over your career that really makes a driver successful?
When we're looking for drivers, we're always looking for someone with a positive attitude. We want someone that's going to come in and bring positivity to the team as a whole. We're also looking for someone who loves working with children. We want someone that's going to make an impact on a child every day, and someone that's going to be there for the kids, and dependable, someone that's going to show up, be to work all the time, because kids strive on consistency. So that's a big thing for our students.
Makes sense. That's good information to have. Thank you. Karmen, back to you. If someone was thinking about becoming a driver or joining the support staff, what would you want them to know about the job? What's sort of maybe something that would surprise them, or what would be your piece of advice that you would give after, again, doing multiple roles here for many years?
That basically anybody of any age can do it. I mean, I started at 19, and there are people here that are 70, 80 years old. So anybody can do it. It works with a family life. You know, I was able to juggle a young family at the time, and now, you know, I'm able to work the 2 jobs and get my 8 hours a day. And then eventually, you know, I'll be able to retire, hopefully at an early age, because I started so young. So I'll be out after this, 55 years old, hopefully going out and traveling. And, you know, it's just, again, very rewarding with these kids. It's very nice to be able to have such a relationship with the kids that I never expected to have when I started here. You know, I just treated it as a job, and it's changed me and how to work with kids and how to deal with kids, and to see that they know my name and they tell me all sorts of things about them and their family.
That's great advice. I think you hit upon a key point that really any age, there's a role in the district for you, right? We're focusing obviously on the transportation and the drivers, but we have so many other spots in food service or classroom aides, or, I mean, the list goes on, where if you're looking for something part-time, full-time, no matter what age you are or where you are in your life, there's potentially a really good fit here for you. So,
Jim, another thing going back that I may have forgot to mention when we were talking about the qualifications, you do have to be 21 years of age to be a bus driver. However, when you hear Karmen say she started at 19, we do provide drivers that are interested and want to train. We bring them in as attendants, and as an attendant, you can start at the age of 19 and then kind of get a feel for what it's like to ride a bus, what it's like to be on the bus, and see if you want to get into that position of driving a school bus. So that's always an option too, but to drive, you must be 21 years of age.
That's a great point. Thank you for clarifying that. Keith, as you kind of mentioned, you've had many roles in the community, and just knowing you, I know how important relationships are with you. Can you talk about how driving has sort of given you a different maybe relationship or roles with families that you see in the many hats throughout the years? And maybe is there a student or a family situation that really kind of sticks with you, obviously without mentioning names, or like something you can kind of point to where you've made a difference, which I know is something that's pretty important to you?
Well, I've met a lot of families over the years, and some of them remain friends to this day. Children graduated a long time ago. I'm personally luckier than most bus drivers to be high enough on the seniority list to pick a run I want, and I pick one with my grandkids on it. So I get to see my grandkids every day, which is a blessing to me. But it's also my neighborhood, and I have a personal relationship with the parents of the children on my bus. So that makes it easier to be a bus driver for me as well, because I already know these kids. I see them at baseball games, and I see them at basketball games, and so that relationship is really nice to have. And I'm luckier than most in that situation. But when I came here because I had the same days off driving that my kids were off from school. I retired from being a dairy farmer for 34 years, and I wanted something that I could still be around my kids all the time, and this worked for me. Now my kids have kids of their own, and just working here is giving me things that you can't get in other jobs, and that's the ability to not just be around your neighbor's kids, but around your own, and it means a lot to me anyway.
That's great. That's fantastic. Ed, as you mentioned, had a whole separate career and then kind of got into this whole driving thing. What did you think this job would be, and what did it end up becoming? I'm going to guess you probably had your own ideas of what being a bus driver for a school district would be like. What was that, and what's the reality been for you?
I guess I thought that I'd be around kids a lot, but I didn't know how hard it would be to control 40 or 50 kids on a bus. And I hear that from people that say, oh, I could never drive a school bus. I couldn't be around that many kids. they're not your kids. I mean, as far as if you respect them, they respect you. The kids are what's the most enjoyable part about the job to me. Karmen said that you see these kids grow up, and I didn't do it as many years as them. And I saw, I had one boy that from 6th grade right through graduation, and I still keep in contact with him. And, he's married, he's got a kid, you just build relationships, and you can't get that in a lot of jobs where it's just enjoyable to do it. The schedule, again, is really great. I knew it would be a good schedule. My other job, I worked 60 hours a week probably as an average. And I liked being able to come in the morning, you do your run, and then you get a few hours off. So you can go do whatever you need to do, whether that's errands or mow the lawn or go fishing, whatever you want to do. And then you come back in the afternoon, and then you have your evenings again.
Right.
I really enjoy doing field trips. I started doing field trips right away, doing sports trips. I like sports. I like kids' sports. I got a lot of grandkids that play sports. So it was pretty neat being paid to go watch softball, which I like doing anyway. So that part of it was nice. It's been a blessing to do it, and that's why I continue to do it. At my age, I don't really need to do it anymore. I want to do it. It is kenroy that I probably do for a few more years at least.
We'll have you for as long as you want to do it, even in retirement, even second retirement.
Right.
Kenroy, we've kind of touched upon this a little bit already. Maybe there's a perception out there that it's just a driver or you're just driving. Is there something in your experience that you look for that it makes it different? Like that is something that you kind of secretly know makes your day better being a bus driver, and that it's not kind of quote unquote just a driver of a bus?
Absolutely. Yeah, that perception's out there, and I at one point had that perception. But now that I'm driving, I realize, because I don't do a full hour stuff, so I just do mornings. And mornings are very important to me. And I'm now becoming to realize that every single morning that I get up, a kid might just be having a bad day. Right. And I, as a bus driver, have the ability to shape their day from the start of that morning. From the moment they set foot up those steps into the bus, my demeanor, greeting of the day, when we make stops here at the high school, or we're stopping over Algonquin and they're still on, asking them just how they're doing personally. And I feel like that's having a big impact. And I think that's most important when we talk about community and serving our community and serving the kids that are in our community. I think that's a great part of it. So for those who think, it's just driving. It's more than driving. It's you're having an impact, and you have the ability to shape someone's day based upon how they got up out of bed that morning. They could just roll out of bed and just in a bad mood, and you have the ability to change all that. So you're more than just a driver. You're a listening ear. You're a mentor in an indirect way. So it's more than just driving. It's serving your community, serving our kids, and shaping their day as they go throughout the school day.
That's a great answer. As we always say, you folks are the first ones they see and the last one they see every single day. It's a very special role. You shape the day in the beginning, and then you're the ones that send them off at the end of the day. And your answer was great for numerous reasons, including it's a nice segue to my next question. This is for the whole group, so you can just kind of jump in. Morning route versus afternoon. Totally different sort of vibe. Which one is more you? Is there a preference? Is there boy, I really like this one or don't like that one? Morning versus afternoon. Who wants to start?
I can start. Mornings are quiet. The kids are having sleep. And you don't usually have as many. The afternoon run for me is 3 to a seat. But my morning run, a lot of kids are in before care, and a lot of them, their parents drop them off in the morning. So the mornings are much, much quieter than the afternoons. And the afternoon, they've had a whole day in school to get wound up. And so they're wide awake and ready to go when they get on the bus in the afternoon. So it's a different run. I prefer the mornings.
I prefer the afternoons. I'm more active myself because I'm not a morning person. So I think I have got the vibe of the children. A lot of kids tell me that, you don't act your age, Karmen. I said I don't want to. So I have the same type of vibe as the children. But so I'm definitely an afternoon person. But one good thing about the morning is the sunrises. Those are some beautiful sunrises that we get to see every day.
I used to like the mornings, but I got up early for 45 years. So when I retired, I said, I'll come back as a sub, but I'm not working any mornings. So it works good with another driver who wants to work mornings. And I work the afternoons. I agree, the kids are a lot more active in the afternoon, especially if it's before a week off, which we just had not too long ago. And I did drive that Friday before the whole week off. I mean, they get on that bus in the afternoon with the week off coming up. They're pretty excited. And you just, the drive is an hour and 15 minutes with those kids. So, they have to behave. They can't run around. But you can also understand they're a kid and they got a week off coming up. And I see the drivers in the driver room. Some of them are just as excited about having a week off coming up.
You don't need a calendar to know there's a week off coming up when you're a bus driver, right?
Not at all.
Kids will tell you.
Yeah, I mean, due to my full-time commitments, mornings are mostly what I have, but and I like mornings. Mornings, you also get to know what happened the afternoon prior. Just this morning, we did a safety drill on my bus and safety tips with all the students who were on the bus, and we got talking about seatbelts. And I was like, why do you need to have a seatbelt on? And one student was like, so I don't tumble out of my seat. And like, all right, that's good. That's good. Like, yeah. And then another student was like, yeah. So we don't go like this, forward, backwards. Because yesterday, somebody cut the driver off and he had to make a sudden stop. So I was like, so yeah, it's the best of both worlds, right? You kind of get to, and it's very good to engage with the students on your bus. I say when you engage them, you actually learn a lot, not just about them, but like things that they have experienced and things that they have seen the day prior, right? So yeah, mornings are good.
Excellent. Different answers. The great points too. That was interesting. The different takes and perspectives out there. Last question for our drivers. If someone said, I don't know if I'd be good at driving a school bus. I can't do this. I don't think I'd be good. What would you say back? What would be your immediate kind of response to that? Is there something you would shoot back at them?
I think it was a lot easier than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be a fairly difficult job. And it really is. Driving the big bus is probably easier than driving a car in some ways. And they do a good job of training you. So before you are the one driving it, get trained, you have to get your license. And yeah, the first day or two can be nerve-wracking, but I'd say, come in. These guys would probably take you out in the bus. You can see what it's like. If you're not sure, they can have you drive around the parking lot, see what it is like.
Yeah, also you could be an attendant, ride the bus for a period of time to see what it's like. If it's not for you, then you can stay and be an attendant. And if you like it, you can train as you go. And, you can ask other bus drivers opinions or tips or anything like that. And a lot of us are willing to help out as much as we can. But yeah, just come on the bus and try it. See what happens.
The perception of a bus driver isn't the reality of a bus driver. It is much better than the public thinks it is. There's a lot more rewards than there are downs in driving a bus. Not just the hours, but you're in a group, in a community. We have fun in our break room. We have breakfasts together. We have lunches together. We used to have a softball team. You have camaraderie with your fellow employees that I never thought I was going to have. As a dairy farmer, you're by yourself all day long. Coming here, I got a whole new group of friends. I come back to work a half hour before my bus run starts in the afternoon just so I could talk with my friends. And that's part of a community.
Just give it a shot. Shout out to Lori, our assistant director of transportation. Lori's a good trainer. I remember, because I had a CDL prior to bus driving, coming over on this side of the fence, she was a big motivator and pusher, especially through the training process. I want to say here at April Park, the transportation department and the ability to train with them is very flexible. Like I remember when I started training, like Lori came out on Saturdays with me, and we drove around. We drove up to Algonquin. We did parallel parking. We did city driving, and so I'd say give it a shot. You're given the tools here to be successful. If, as a sub, I could go into any bus, pick up a run sheet, look through that run sheet, be like, all right, I need to make this turn, I need to go on this road. And so the tools are here, and with Mark and Lori and the team, they got your back, and it's just very flexible. It's a great working environment. All the other senior drivers, Keith and the others, they're very friendly. You could talk to them. They're very approachable. If you don't know something, just ask. So I'll definitely say, hey, if I could do it, you can.
We're going to go to Mark for the last word, because hopefully if people have listened to this, you see all the things that you didn't realize before, and that it is much more than just a job. So Mark, you told us what the training and certification would be. What would be next if someone's listening and themselves, or maybe they know of a neighbor, a parent, a grandparent, someone who might be interested? What should they do? How do they contact you? What do they do to take that next step?
Yeah, anyone that's interested, there's multiple ways to reach out. You can call the garage, you can email, you can go onto the website, you can come right to the district office, you can come to the bus garage, pick up an application, you can go online, fill out an application, whatever avenue is easy for you, call us, email us, whatever, we will get back to you, and then we can go through the entire process in detail, so you know exactly what your next steps will be.
Excellent. Thank you to the five of you. I think this was extremely informative and really sheds a great light on the work that you do literally for us at the beginning and the end and throughout the day. The district doesn't run without our transportation department. It is a kind of a cliche, but it is so true. Our group in particular does a great job. Again, anyone who knows our terrain and our geography understands how challenging it can be at times. And, I can't tell you how great of a job this group does, and how many times people have said to me, we got this, we're professionals, we know what we're doing. Always just reassuring in terms of making those decisions and the work that you do. And we get so much positive feedback from our families about our drivers and the role that you play here, which is such a key role. So thank you for joining us and spending some time now, but also thank you for the work that you do every day on behalf of our students and their families. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. See you next time on Every Student, Every Day.